Hey guys, King of Trials here to be a judge, your jury, your analyst, and today I bring to you some practice battles for the Retro Cup featuring Brijsheesh, my usual training partner, as well as HAREESH125. So I'm just going to call him HAREESH for short. So I have HAREESH and I have Brijsheesh. So Brijsheesh and HAREESH are going to give me some practice battles here. They kick my butt a lot in this shoutcast and give a lot of good combinations for you to run for the Retro Cup. So hopefully this shoutcast gives you a good idea of what you want to run, but also HAREESH and Brijsheesh also show a bunch of good combination of mons that do work really well for the Retro Cup. So hopefully this gives you a little sneak peek onto the Retro Cup and inspires y'all to go ahead and run some crazy stuff for this, or like whatever you find comfortable, and then go ahead and use it for this cup. But before we get started, my therapist mental health tip of the day is going to be, make sure y'all check up on your friends and your family as well. The world has been the world's very weird right now because of everything that's going on, especially with coronavirus, etc. It's really, So make sure y'all check up your friends and family. Make sure they're all happy and healthy and whatnot, and that everyone's doing great. I usually say that as a weekly therapist mental health of the day, but more often than not, we don't really appreciate someone until they're gone. So, yeah, make sure you check up on your friends and family. I'm a therapist, so I have people check up on me all the time. So I need to be good so that I can go ahead and treat my clients, especially since 99% of them are kiddos, so I need to make sure I'm happy and I'm healthy for my kiddos. Not necessarily happy, I don't have to be happy all the time, but I need to be healthy for my kiddos. So yes, check up on your friends, check up on your family, and make sure they're doing great, and make sure you are doing great as well. If not, go ahead and call someone and tell them what's going on. So, without further ado, the reason why I'm going through my intro so fast is because this is a whole lot of battles, so you're gonna hear a lot from me anyways, so these battles are also sped up to 1.5 instead of 1.25. They're a little faster because, like I mentioned, there's a lot of battles here, so I wanted to condense them all into kind of a much shorter video. And without further ado, let's get started. Alright, here are the battles. So I feature a lot of teams here. This is one of them. As you see, this is going to feature Trevenant in the lead, Licky or DD as your safe switch. So we got Licky on a DD. This is a fantastic lead for us, obviously. HAREESH is going to be either going to try to swap here, or they're going to stay in and try to break some shields. As you see, I bait the seed bomb perfectly here. They're going to fire a move. I'm not going to shield this. It's a Thunderbolt or a Rock Slide or a Psycho Boost. That's perfectly fine, and I expect them to switch, and they do swap into a Vigoroth. We have, basically, this is just basic RPS. We're going to send in Deoxys defense against his Viggy, and then all we're going to do is counter down. We're going to smack it with the noodle arms, you know what I mean? I talk about ramen from Japan all the time. That's exactly what's going to go here. Noodles are amazing, especially ramen. Ramen is really freaking good. Hot pot noodles, oh my gosh. I should totally get some hot pot right now. I have to go to my brother's house after the shoutcast, and I got to go pick up some food, but yeah. But yeah, food sounds amazing. Anyways, we're just gonna, again, classic RPS. We're just going to fully farm down here. You can eat all the body slams, just make sure you switch in fast enough just so that Viggy doesn't get a lot of energy. So it's going to throw a lot of body slams at you because it can come back if it has that energy lead. We're going to fire these rock slides. As you see here, we're going to fire these rock slides at this Deoxys defense, and we're going to fire both back to back, and they're either going to shield or they're just going to let this Deoxys defense go. Both go through. Our opponent does shield, but we have to, it's 2-0s. There's really, it's the 2-0s. This is pretty much game. I'm going to let Deoxys defense go. There's no reason to shield here. As you see, I do live, and we happen to get a hit on top. We're just going to fire the Shadow Ball, and at this point, it's game. I don't have to shield if I want to, and that's GG's. Classic case of RPS, but as you see, Trev lead is insanely powerful, especially if you're able to get a ton of energy, as you see here. Expert energy management means extra extra seed bombs, and you're just gonna ball out. You're gonna ball out like a madman. We go to the 2-0s. All I'm gonna do is lick down for the W, and that's GG's. So again, Trev, Licky safe switch or DD, it's a very, very cool combination. I found that Licky with Shadow Ball threatens a lot. You don't need a Lickitung XL. If you want to use Lickitung XL, it's totally up to you, but Licky actually does some work, and I don't want to build a Licky XL, so I use this one instead. As you see, Brijsheesh sent in a Munchlax, so this one's on Brijsheesh. We switch into a Munchlax, and I kind of oop here. I should have gained a little more energy, or should have fired a Seed Bomb, so that's one mistake I made, because the thing about Munchlax is that Trevenant walls Munchlax. Yeah, you don't resist the licks, however, Body Slam and Bulldoze are both resisted. So I should have fired because what's going to happen here, if you look at this, Brijsheesh is going to be able to tank a lot of my counters. It's ideal you do chip damage first before you try to counter down because they could probably take back switch. So I misplayed pretty hard here. We go for the Psycho Boost, but like I mentioned before, because of the fact that we should have got some chip damage before we go out. We're going to lose swap, and I'm going to get some extra energy here. However, it's 2-1. That's the thing that sucks. Even though we're at the 2-to-1s, they are able to fire a move, and I'm in danger. So I'm gonna Shadow Claw Breach down, and he has 2 mods. I still have a shield, and we get Snorlax. So this kind of sucks. I would have preferred to have DD because our back row doesn't do well. We got Licky. As you see here, I should have got 1 more Seed Bomb, double up on the Seed Bombs, and then swap out. That would have been ideal. I already came out with 1, but I should have came out with 2. So that's another misplay I did here. Another misplay. I don't shield the superpower. I should have shielded the superpower. Shield the superpower. They send in Nidoqueen, and now all they have to do is Poison Fang me down. This is really rough. Had I had 2 Seed Bombs, I could have doubled up on this Nidoqueen, so I just misplayed terribly on this entire match. I should have shielded the superpower, and then now that Nidoqueen has plenty of an advantage. As you see here, should have doubled up. There's a lot of things I should have done, and that's GG's. I threw that match pretty hard, but dang, yeah, I threw that match really hard. If they switch in to a Munchlax or a Snorlax, try to get a Seed Bomb off first. We lose the lead here, and actually, Brijsheesh lose the lead, and then we get our HAREESH. HAREESH loses the lead. I'm playing with 2 people, okay? So, I apologize. So, as you see here, we should have stayed in with Altaria versus this Lantern, which is one big mistake, because with Water Gun, Altaria actually does really well, and we do resist this Water Gun damage. They're going to fire a Hydro Pump. I call the right shield here, and I'm going to get a little more energy before I fire Rock Slide. This won't kill. It's going to do some chip damage, and then we should be able to farm down with the Ox's defense. Rock Slide goes through, we farm down with our Noodle Arms, and then we have a bazillion energy. So they send in the Trevenant. Trevenant versus Altaria was a great lead, and I kind of royally screwed by win condition here. I fire the Psycho Boost, and then after that, I should have swapped out. I attempt to try, I don't want to lose alignment, but I should have, I give up. Yeah, that's the biggest mistake. I should have stayed in with Licky. Stay in with Licky. Body Slam to death, eat all the Icicle Spears, and essentially what happens here is I sack an entire Altaria to the gods. It was still rough to begin with just because I'm dealing with Wall Trev Core, but either way, I did throw away my win condition to hell. Had I stayed in with Licky, I could have Body Slammed really hard here, and then save Altaria for Trevenant. Trevenant must Shadow Ball me twice, and with some extra Shadow Claw damage in order to KO me. But in this case, I kind of just threw the game. So, yeah. This is why I kind of don't like Altaria for this cup, because if you get locked in a Frostless or Wall Raid, it really sucks. As you see there, it only takes 1 Icicle Spear, along with some chip damage, to absolutely ruin your life. So that's a really, really bad. Icicle Spears go off. This is pretty much game. There's no way in hell I come back from this. We break both shields, but like I mentioned, had I did the play before in reverse, had I saved my Altaria, I might have been able to come out with a W here. They're going to combo in, and then this tree is just going to end my life. So had I did it the other way around, I could have possibly came out with a W, and that's GG's. Again, this is why I kind of like Altaria. Altaria can work, but more on that. So that's one way. That was a terrible misplay. Now we got Breach. I use the same team on Breach. We got a Sand Slash. I also misplayed terribly here. But as you see, the Breach does a great job of showcasing how Sand Slash can work. We send in Licky. I should have stayed in and fired a move or got a little more energy, because what happens here is Licky doesn't have a great matchup against DD. That or I should have committed both my shields here. So I fire the Body Slam, and then I should have, committed both of my shields and then just fully farm down. You don't want to lose alignment in this scenario. I'm going to force Breach to go to the 2-to-1, but ideally I should have blown both shields just because it's more, I'd rather keep control, and Licky can do well against Breach. We're going to look down, attempt to look down anyways. I'm going to send in DD and then try to get as much energy as I possibly can. So as you see here, we're just going to farm down. I'm going to take everything. I do believe I shield in the middle here. If you're in late game, ideally you'd like to spend 1 shield and just keep it in easy and shield scenarios in order to avoid taking too much chip damage. But I should have shielded Thunderbolt. This is probably going to be Psycho Boost, so I kind of misplayed. I misplayed terribly. I should have shielded Thunderbolt instead of the Psycho Boost. And as you see here, that Sound Slash is going to come back in. I fire Psycho Boost. But, yeah, so I fire Psycho Boost. Night Slash is very good on that Sand Slash. And then we're going to send in the Burb. And then we get Wall Raid. You already know what's going to happen. Wall Raid ends our life. That's literally what it is. Wall Raid ends our life. Wall Raid is such a beast in this cup that, like, you're pretty much dead. So I'm going to attempt to farm down here. And it's not going... I should have fired. Here's a mistake I should have fired. Had I fired, that would have taken Brijsheesh's shield. So there's a misplay. There's a misplay. Have I fired, I would have taken a shield, and I would have 8 in 2 moves like this. Take the shield, take it to the zeros, and then after that, all I have to do is Psycho Boost for the dub, since Breach has no shields. But I misplayed terribly. And there's Go Battle Lag. And there's Go Battle Lag. And there's Go Battle Lag. But yeah, I misplayed terribly here. All I had to do was fire the Sky Attack, and then double Psycho Boost, and that's my win condition. So I should have theoretically won this, but I misplayed terribly. But that's how you learn, by your mistakes. And for some odd reason, that game lags enough to where, like, Brijsheesh is able to back-to-back Night Slash me, and that's just game. So, yay, go battle lag. Yay, go battle lag. But yeah, I had the win condition anyways. All I had to do was fire the Sky Attack, break the last shield, and then double Psycho Boost for the W, but I threw away the win con. Yay. Now we got Brijsheesh uses Altaria onto my DD. So here's what's fun. DD doesn't actually win the 2 shield against Altaria. Altaria is able to resist the counters, and even though Rock Slide does super effect damage, a person with the Altaria versus the DD matchup, they have more control. So this isn't actually good for us. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to attempt to break both shields, and then I'm going to swap out. Or like, as you see, I did some chip. Now we're going to try to come out with shield advantage. Shield advantage goes off, and after that, I'm just going to let DD go. I'm going to go for the Psycho Boost. Brijsheesh fires their second move, which is really smart on their part, and all I'm going to do here is I'm going to farm down the Altaria with Frostless. So this features DD, Licky Licky, Altaria. So I kind of... This is terrible. This is terrible. Yeah, this is terrible. This is really bad. That's a Zangoose. So Zangoose is really powerful against our team, but here's the issue here. I have 2 shields, but Zangoose wins CMP. So we're in a lot of trouble right now. I ideally should fire Avalanche right away, but you're going to fire on... It's, as you see, it's CMPs. What I should have done here is get a little more extra energy. So I'm going to get a little more extra energy. 1, 2, and then fire, because those Shadow Claws are chunking so much. Zangoose is a great mon for the Retro Cup, his ability to break shields. You can use it as a shield breaker and use the shield breaker strat, and then sweep with your back row. Fantastic mon for the Retro Cup. They send in the Lantern, and I'm dead. I won't get to a Shadow Ball, so I fire the Avalanche, and then I'm going to send in Licky Licky and pray I have a good matchup. But there's actually one condition here. So they send in DD, or they send in Altaria. I'm going to lick it down. I put my hand up on your Cloudy Burb, and then I lick you down for the W. I double Body Slam, and that should be game. As you see, one Body Slam goes up. Brijsheesh is going to Hydro Pump me, but Hydro Pump won't kill. This second Body Slam will go off, and that's GG's. Really sweaty matchup. As you see, Licky Licky goes to town, and this team can do some work. Dang. Licky Licky comes out with a W, and that's game. After throwing all these body slams. So many body slams, like Jeff Hardy on a ladder match. No, seriously, Jeff Hardy went to AEW. My next battle is country, but yeah, Jeff Hardy went to AEW, and I'm really happy that he's found some success and found some way, because he definitely deserves it. We got DD onto Trevenant. This is a terrible lead. I'm going to switch in Licky Licky. We get Licky Tongue on Licky Licky action. So here's what's terrible. This is really... Yeah, you'll see what happens. Anyways, as you see, because we got energy lead, we should be able to just straight body slam down for the W. Hareesh isn't using an XL Lickitung. It won't really matter too much in to begin with, because with an energy lead, you should be able to win this with Licky Licky. So that's usually how it'll go. But here's what happens. So the body slams are going off, and then I'm gonna be, because I have the energy lead like I mentioned, I should be able to body slam down. So I'm body slamming, and then I try to lick down. So as you see, I'm licking vigorously. Vigorous licking, you know what I mean? It's like a Metallica band, like the heavy metal headbanging whenever Licky Licky or Lickitung, especially Lickitung, because it rocks it to like the side. If Lickitung had hair, it would be hilarious, because you would just see like the rock star headbang thing. We're gonna lick down completely, and here's what happens. I expect that trap to come in, or the back row, and it's a Licky Licky. So we're just going to body slam to oblivion here. Ideally, what's going to happen is I'm actually going to send out. So I lick, and I try to get 2 body slams. Get to 2 body slams, but here's the issue here. So the body slams are going to go off, but we have a whole trap, and they have shield advantage. I send in Frostless to catch, and I got the catch, but here's the issue here. So body slam goes off, and then here's what happens. I shouldn't have shielded against Hareesh, because they bait me and it's perfect. I should have just eat the Shadow Ball. That's the thing I should have done. I should have ate the Shadow Ball, because you need your shield. But watch what happens. I try to fire, but it won't fire my Avalanche. Instead, it double taps and it forces CMP, and that screws my win condition. Because this body slam goes off, and then I should have been able to break a shield with the Avalanche and break this shield. So I would have broken both of Hareesh's shields here, and then go for the Psycho Boost and an easy dub. But for some odd reason, instead of firing my Avalanche, fired on CMP. If you look that back there, it clicks twice. I don't know why it doesn't register on the first one. So like, charge moves aren't registering right now. Of course, go Battle League. And that's GG's. Kudos to Harish. That's like I could have made that safer, but I wasn't expecting the game to just do that, sadly. So fire your at the same time, I shouldn't have tried to double up. I should have fired Avalanche right away. So I made mistakes on that play as well. But as you see here, don't bang on the game working properly. Fire your charge moves as soon as possible, but do the safer play. Next up, we got another team here. We got Snorlax, we got Nidoqueen, and Cresselia Safe Switch. Cresselia is still a really, really good mon for this cup. So what we're going to do here, as you see, I got Snorlax onto Deoxys defense, which actually is a great showcase because Shadow Snorlax actually does pretty dang well. So my Shadow Snorlax, I will shield once, and then we get a Pidgeot. I send in my Cresselia, and I'm going to straight Moonblast. The reason I'm Moonblasting here is because hopefully I get the debuff, and I can bank that Harish is going to debuff me with Feather Dance. Feather Dance is the better play here because you get the debuff, and at the same time, you can possibly get a shield. So much better play than the other way around. But Cresselia still works for its ability to debuff and the fact that it's so godforsakenly bulky in this. Yeah, it's super bulky and it does really, really well in this cup. So make sure y'all have your Cresselias ready, or if you want to use Cresselia. I'm going to go for the Grass Knot. This is probably another Feather Dance, and I could possibly get to another move. Feather Dance doesn't do a lot of damage. Yeah, -2, but I could possibly get to another Moonblast, and I do. So I win back switch. And then what we're going to do here is that Harish doesn't shield, and then they're going to farm me down. But instead of farming me down, I will swap and fire the Body Slam. So I'm going to swap the Body Slam so that I can grab a shield, and I can lick down possibly. So as you see here, I'm looking down, I'm looking, I'm trying to get there, and I do not. I'm going to send in Cresselia because I want to eat I want Harish's DD to blow energy. Harish fires a Psycho Boost, perfect, and then we send in, and then we got Nidoqueen versus Trevenant, which is awesome on our side. So, what all I have to do here is I should just be able to double Poison Fang. That should be my play, and then I should be able to come out of the W. Just fast move down completely, and then because I got debuffed, I should be perfectly fine here. As you see, Harish fires the Shadow Ball. Call that correctly because they know that their only win condition is to get that Shadow Ball through. Because what happens is that with Poison Fang and Nidoqueen is such a beast, all I'm going to do is I could Poison Fang down for the W. This is going to be a C-Bomb, and yeah, that's going to hurt. But because Nidoqueen does not Shadow, we can live. And we should be able to just straight Poison Jab down unless DD has Psycho Boost. So they had one queued, and I die. That's GG's. Yeah, that really sucked. I tried my best, but like, yeah, that was really rough. Next up, we got Breach. I showcased this thing with Breach, and we get Zangoose into Snorlax. So this actually isn't great. So the thing about this, not only am I suffocating to go Battle Lag, but Zangoose is very dangerous here because close combat will KO your KO Snorlax in one shot. That's how powerful Zangoose's attack is. It's a glass cannon from hell. It will CMP against a lot of things, and it really sucks. Night Slash goes through, and Breach does it perfectly. Get the Jabate with the Night Slash, and then fire the close combat. But like I mentioned, the pressure's on you because you don't want to lose a whole Snorlax, and we get Frostless. So I get a little more energy here, and then I'm going to swap into Cresselia. We're going to eat a Shadow Ball, but Shadow Ball won't kill in this instance. So Cresselia is really good because it can tank a Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball goes off, and then we're going to fire Moonblast. Hopefully I do get the debuff. If I don't get the debuff, that's perfectly fine. But it's still really, really rough right now. Moonblast goes off. Breach doesn't shield. I'm able to almost... I thought I could farm down, but that's perfectly fine. I want them to blow their energy here because what happens is I can send in Licky. I could send in Snorlax, and I could just lick down. Because one turn fast moves take priority over here, all I have to do is get the lick. So I'm banking on Breach knowing that, but instead I send in my Nidoqueen because I want to get a little bit of farm, and we get a Dragalge. So this is how this thing's broken. So as you see here, I'm going to fire Poison Fang. Breach sacks sacks Zangoose, or attempts to, and then all I'm going to do is farm down. So Zangoose never gets to move, and I get farm. I'm going to fire Poison Fang, however, I'm not actually carrying Earthquake. Stone Edge is here for the flyer. Stone Edge also, its ice type's really hard, so Breach does shield, and this is great, because all we're going to do, we should be able to double Body Slam for the W. Because Dragalge is debuffed here, we get the dub. So as you see, all I'm going to do is double up on Body Slam. I fire right here so I don't get caught on CMP. And then, because this is a -1 Dragalge, as you see there, and I should be able to get to another one. This is an Aqua Tail, it doesn't kill, so either I'll get to a Body Slam and fire, or I will be able to lick down for the W. Always nice when you're able to lick down for the W. So, really sweaty battles. As you see, Nidoqueen is baller in the Retro Cup and can do really well if it's able to, just because of the poison thing slaps. It slaps really hard. Last but not least, we have the super meta team, Walrein, Trevenant, and Deoxys defense. This is an incredibly powerful combination, probably the best one for the Retro Cup, just because everything's so OP. We got Swampert into Walrein, and all we're going to do is just safe switch. I safe switch into DD. DD has a comfortable matchup against Walrein. So then all we're going to do is we're just going to literally just keep this alignment. Keep alignment. What you want to do in these types of matchups is just switch quickly. There's no reason to be fancy. Keep RPS, keep alignment, avoid them from switching out, and then that's GG's. As you see here, we're just going to counter down. Harish eats the Rock Slide because mine as well, because there's no point. And then we get the Swampert. So Swampert comes back in. I'm going to fire one Psycho Boost. This should bait a shield. So this is probably going to take a shield. And then on the second one, I fire. So I cue the second Psycho Boost and I catch a Hydro Cannon. But yeah. So this is not really good. Yeah, this is great. This is actually terrible. Well, actually terrible, not for me, but for them, because this is basically RPS. As you see, Walrein's just going to go Earthquake, and then I'm going to just be able to Shadow Claw down for the W. Like, I literally can just Shadow Claw. I have so much control. I have shield advantage. And that's game. Shadow Ball goes off. We're going to Shadow Claw down. And then, as you see here, this is merciless. Swampert comes in. I don't have to really shield anything at this point. And that's game. Classic case of rock, paper, scissors. Do a little fancy catch over there, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I miss Chester, by the way. Linkin Park is one of my favorite alternative bands. So, like, yeah. I love it. I love it so much. But yeah, this is pretty much game. I send in DD. I do this fancy combo in for Psycho Boost, and that's game. Psycho Boost goes in, and because it is not debuffed, it will kill at this range against Shadow Swampert, and that's GG's. Powerful combination. This team is nuts, as you see there, especially with Walrein Trev, and there's a lot of fancy things you can do, but that was just basic rock, paper, scissors. Next, for the second battle, we got Walrein and Jellicent, and this is terrible for us. So I'm actually not paying attention for part of this battle. So you'll notice me stop tapping for a little bit, because I'm not paying attention too much. I should probably pay attention, but this is practice. This is practice, guys. As you see, Jellicent is in here. I should have shielded Shadow Ball. This is where I'm not paying attention, and this is where, like, you see how I'm not, like, firing all, like, yeah, I like, undercharge Earthquake. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I should have done that. I should have done that. I was like, yeah, make sure y'all pay attention when you're doing your battles, even if it's scrims, but either way, it's perfectly fine. I call the Bubble Beam, I fire off the second Earthquake, and this time I'm hoping to get some chip, or I will break a shield. So now I'm in full attention mode. Earthquake goes off, they do shield. So I'm waiting, and as you see, Go Balak takes my soul even more, which is tragic. They send in another Bond, but because I'm not sure how much I liked, I will shield here out of sheer fear of taking a Shadow Ball. Yay, Go Battle Lag. Yay, Go Battle Lag. Yay, Go Battle Lag. If I knew that, I would have never shielded if I didn't. Yeah, that sucks. I definitely would have never shielded if it never lagged. I was just like, oh my god, they could probably have Shadow Ball. They need to have a Shadow Ball. That's tragic. Absolutely tragic. Well, Sky Attack is going to go through. I should have shielded, but yeah, my basic idea here is I should have saved DD for, I should have sacked. I should have saved Walrein for a sack, and then, yeah, this is just all bad. I'm going to shield here, but this is pretty much game. Because, yeah, I did a lot of things wrong in this. Make sure y'all pay attention to your matches. I can't go over 100 here. I'm going to attempt to farm down, and there's the Jellicent. Had I had that shield, I would have won. Because what happens here, I double Rock Slide, and then I can just counter down that Altaria for the victory, but because I have no shields, I have to eat this Shadow Ball, and that's GG's. Go Battle Lag is still very prevalent, so yeah. But still great showcase. Thank you to Harish and Breach for the battles. I do appreciate y'all. Hopefully it gives you a good idea of what to run for. And that's GG's. I hope y'all enjoyed the battles. Hopefully this gives you a lot of good looks. As you see, there's a lot of things for the Retro Cup that could be a whole lot of fun. Just make sure Go Battle doesn't take your soul, and make sure that you fire on the right intervals. So Retro Cup is going to be crazy spammy, and Walreins and Trevs are going to be absolutely everywhere. So I hope y'all enjoy. If you don't like this cup, you could totally just skip this one and wait for the Candle Cup next week, because that one matters a lot more anyways, because you get 3 times dust. So again, if you don't like this one, skip the week, go to Kanto Cup, which is probably what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do my battles for like Retro, and then I'm probably just going to honestly like stream Pokemon community game or like raise my beam count on Twitch. But do me a huge favor, please like, subscribe. You can subscribe by using the box at the bottom right, and also please do comment for the YouTube algorithm. I really do appreciate y'all. I'm trying to gun for 4K subs before like I'm trying to gun for 4K before like the middle of this year. I would guess like 6, like I don't know, like what? Maybe. Actually, I really don't mind. But yeah, close to 4K, so yes. Please like, subscribe, and do comment for the YouTube algorithm. And I really do appreciate y'all. Y'all are amazing. Also, I stream on Twitch Monday, Tuesday, Saturday, Sunday, 6:30, 7:30 a.m. PST. Sometimes I'll do extra days. It just really depends on how I'm feeling. But generally, what I do is I will stream on PvP, or I'll do like PCG, Pokemon Community Game. So I'll do that while having like Pogo on the side. Because, yeah, I don't know about y'all, but I'm not feeling Retro Cup too much. I'll probably run Licky Hyper Beam, but that's pretty much it. Other than that, I really don't care much for this cup at all. But I hope you do enjoy the battles. Hopefully this shoutcast gives you a little bit breach. And thanks to Brijsheesh and HAREESH again for the battles. They're absolutely amazing. And I do appreciate all the practice and all of the showcasing, because man, after this I'm like, man, it's really hard to come back for the, like, with all the spam that Walrein and Tread gives you, it's really hard to come back from the lead. So make sure y'all are really fancy and y'all look ahead of your win conditions so that you can come out for the W. If you don't win, that's perfectly fine. Just go to the Kanto Cup because it's 3 times best anyways. But yeah, please like, subscribe, comment, also follow me on Twitch, and then I show up on there. Some of y'all are right there. I really do appreciate y'all that I see you on there. With that being said, good luck on your Go Battle League sets, and I will see y'all on the next video.